In my family, a person is generally considered an adult at the age of 18 because that is the legal age of adulthood in Ecuador. At this age, people can vote, work independently, and make important decisions about their lives. However, in practice, adulthood is not only about age. Many parents believe that a person becomes a true adult when they are financially responsible, emotionally mature, and capable of taking care of themselves. Because of this, some parents continue treating their children as dependents even after they turn 18. I think adulthood is a gradual process. While law may recognize someone as an adult at 18, maturity develops through the experiences, responsibilities, and the personal growth. I believe parents can express concerns about their adult child's uh, boyfriend or girlfriend, but they should do so respectfully. Parents often have more life experience and may notice warning signs of that their children do not see. However, there is a difference between sharing an opinion and constantly criticizing someone. If parents repeatedly speak negatively about a partner, it can create tension and damage family relationships. Adult children deserve the freedom to choose their partners, even if their partners, even if their parents disagree with the choice. Therefore, parents should focus on expressing their concerns calmly and respectfully rather than attacking or judging the person. Open communication is usually more effective than criticism because it encourages trust instead of conflict. If a parent believes that the child partner, is a bad influence, the first step should be having an honest conversation. They can explain their concerns and provide specific examples instead of making general accusations. For instance, if the partner encourages irresponsible behavior, parents can discuss those behaviors and why they are worried. It's important to focus on actions rather than simply saying they dislike the person. At the same time, parents should remember that adult children have the right to make their own decisions. Sometimes people learn valuable lessons from their own experiences, even difficult ones. Parents can offer support and guidance, but ultimately they cannot control every decisions their adult children make. I do not think giving advice is the same as interfering. Advice is usually offered with good intentions and allows the other person to decide whether to follow it or not. Interfering happens when someone tries to control decisions, manipulate situations, or pressure another person into making a certain choice. The difference often depends on respect and boundaries. For example, a parent might say, I'm worried because I noticed this behavior. That is advice. But if the parent constantly pressures the child to end their relationship, that becomes interference. Healthy advice respects the adult child ability to make decisions, but the interference often ignores that independence. Parents can express worry by communicating openly and respectfully. Instead of making demands, they can share their feelings and observations. For example, a parent should say, I'm concerned because I've noticed you seem unhappy lately, rather than say, you need to break up with that person. This approach focuses on care rather than control. Listening is also important. Parents should allow their, their children to explain their perspective without interrupting or judging them. When parents show empathy and respect, their children are more likely to listen and consider their advice. Concern should come from a place of support, not authority. When disagreements about relationships become too intense, some adult children may stop communicating with their parents. This can be painful for everyone involved. Often, this happens because the adult child feels judged, controlled, or misunderstood. On the other hand, parents may feel rejected or hurt because they were trying to help. If these situations occurs, both sides should try to rebuild communication. Parents may need to apologize if they cross boundaries, while adult children should try to explain their feelings honestly. Maintaining family relationships requires patience, understanding, and respect. Even when people disagree, keeping communication open is usually better than cutting ties completely. I think parents can share their opinions on major life decisions, but the final choice should belong to the adult child and their partner. For example, parents may offer useful advice about financial planning for a wedding or the challenges of raising children. Their experience can be valuable. However, decisions such as where to live, when to marry, or whether to have children are deeply personal choices. These decisions affect the couple's future more than anyone else, and parents should be supportive advisors rather than decisions makers. Respecting the independence helps build healthier family relationships. Um, I think it is often easier for parents to interfere when their adult child still lives up at home. When people share the same living space, parents naturally have more involvement in their daily lives. Parents may feel that because they provide housing and support, they should have greater influence over certain decisions. This can sometimes lead to conflicts about relationships, curfews, or personal choices. However, even when adult children live at home, they still deserve respect and personal autonomy. Living together should not mean giving the right to make independent decisions. Clear communications about expectations and boundaries can help avoid misunderstandings. In Ecuador, family relationships are generally very close. It is common for parents to remain involved in their children's lives even after they become adults. Many families mm, value respect for parents and often expect children to consider family opinions when making important decisions. Because of this, parents may feel more comfortable expressing their views about relationships. However, younger generations are increasingly emphasizing independence and personal choice. Many young adults believe that romantic relationships should be based primarily on their decisions than family approval. As a result, there is sometimes a balance between traditional family values and modern ideas about personal freedom. Healthy boundaries begin with mutual respect. Parents should recognize that their adult children are capable of make their own decisions, while children should appreciate their parents' experience and concern. The communication is essential. Families should discuss expectations openly and honestly. Everyone should feel comfortable expressing their opinions without fear or judgment. It is also important to respect privacy. Parents do not need to know every detail about children relationships and about children should not feel obligated to share everything. Ultimately, healthy boundaries allow family members to stay connected while still respecting each other independence. This balance helps maintain the strong relationships across generations. So I can conclude that parents naturally want to protect their children even when those children becomes adults. However, there is an important difference between offering guidance and interfering. Healthy families relationships are built on communication, respect, trust, and on boundaries. Parents can share their concerns and advice, but adult children should have the freedom to make their own choices and learn from their experiences. So, thank you for listening.